Hello, wonderful. This is Sarah, and I fortunately have been out of the dating game for a while. Happily married for how long have we been married? Married 4 years together, 7 or something. Um, and 6, I don't know. But okay, so if I was in the dating game, this is what I would do. And I have done lots of dating coaching, lots of interviews with other dating coaches, lots of conversations around dating. And this is what I would do if I was in the dating game right now. Okay. So, number one, meet people, talk to people. Start conversations, okay? And I say this to say I would just absolutely be devastated beyond belief if my husband died. Um, but am I out of the practice of dating? Of course. Am I out of the practice of meeting new people and having them in my life? No. Okay. We put dating in this weird category of like, oh, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? What am I going to, and it's like, number one step to dating successfully is meeting new people. And I cannot tell you how many people it's like, oh, I wish I could date, but it's just like, well, I'm like, well, when's the last time you met someone new? Do you put yourself in situations to meet new people? And when I was dating, I would go to parties that I didn't know anyone. Like I would put myself in situations where I would go by myself and meet new people. And I actually was in St. Petersburg, Florida with a client, and she had lived there and I was visiting and we hung out and she goes, "Oh my gosh, you just like meet people." Like I turn around and there you are talking to a guy about his book at the restaurant. And it's just but it's like I'm not trying to pick them up, right? I'm not getting their number. I'm wearing my wedding ring, but I'm still meeting people. And she actually found a great guy, kind of watching me do that. She found a great guy. They've been together for gosh, a year and a half now. He's wonderful. They're traveling Europe all over each other, all over together and all this kind of stuff. But meet people. Put yourself in situations where you meet people. It's always going to be more authentic and better than meeting someone online. Is there anything wrong with meeting online? Absolutely not. No, of course not. But meet people too. Okay. And maybe you meet someone and they're like, oh, my brother would be perfect for you, or my sister would be perfect for you. And be open, like have an open posture to meeting people. Okay. If you go out with 3 girlfriends and you're all huddled in a corner everywhere you go, a guy is not going to approach you. That's very intimidating for a guy to walk up with 3 other girls. Go alone. You won't die. I promise. I promise it worked for me. I promise. If I was still dating, that's what I would do. I'd put myself in new situations to meet new people as much as possible. And then I would strike up conversations with people in the grocery store, in the coffee shop, wherever. Okay. Think about expanding your circle, not just finding the one. And you will find the one if you expand your circle because it will be easier. Okay. So number one, meet people. Number two, be honest. Okay. And this one's the tricky one. Okay. Talking to someone recently who's been dating way longer than they want to. And I just said, here's who would like to marry you. They're probably going to be older than you. Because in this person's situation, they'd never been married. And I said, the person who in the town that you live in the situation that you're in, they're probably going to be older than you. And they're probably divorced. They may even travel for work and have kids they want help with. Like, this is who you're perfect for. I don't want to date somebody older than me. I don't want to. Okay. But this is who wants to date you. And I am saying this with compassion. I get it. Dating's tough. But if I was dating again, I would be honest about the people who wanted to date me. I see a lot of people get stuck up, and it's like, especially if you like date the last time you dated maybe was in early 30s. Okay. And now you're 45. But the guys that you were attracted to were in their early 30s. If you want to successfully date, probably someone in their early 30s. For women, mainly work with women. It just is. It just is. It just is truth. You can talk about it being fair, or talk about being this or whatever. Talk about, oh, this is, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I can have compassion, and I can give you direction. And I can have compassion that it's not fair, and I can give you direction to get you to closer to success. So I would be honest about who kind of wants to date me. And it doesn't mean lowering your standards. It doesn't mean they have to be mean or there's no attraction or whatever. You might just have to kind of alter your attraction. Dating in your 50s is not going to look like it is in your 20s. It's just not. It's just not. Okay. And also being honest with other people about the situations and the red flags and concerns you have. So being honest is a lot of things. It's one, being honest about, I hate to say your market value, because I don't want that to sound mean or crass, but I want you to get results. Okay. It doesn't mean you're lowering all your standards. It means like, okay, who are the people dating in my age bracket? Who are the people dating? It's nice to be the catch in the relationship. It's really nice to be the catch and be treated well. It's really nice. So who are you the catch for? Who's going to treat you well? Go after them. Okay. Being honest about the red flags you see, being honest about who you are, right? Don't bring the representative into dating. It will not serve you, because then it's like, oh, we got married, surprise, I'm really this person instead of this person. They call that toxic. Okay. Do not bring the representative into dating. Be honest. Be honest about who you are. Be honest about who wants to, who you're a good match with and who thinks they're a good match for you. And be honest about, red flags you see. Try to have that accountability with others. Don't just get stuck in, well, maybe it's not that bad. Well, maybe it's potential. Well, maybe he, really does have an excuse to be missing 3 days a week. Okay. So number 1, meet people. Number 2, be honest, both about your situation, about yourself, and be honest with the red flags you see to yourself and others. Okay. Number 3, final one, be bold. From the conversations I've had with dating coaches and the experience I've had in this arena, oftentimes the nice people out there are not as aggressive. They're not as aggressive. So oftentimes you might need to be a little bolder. Like I might be flirty and say something. Why I would. I'm like, oh man, if they said something like, you're funny, I'd be like, I am funny. Maybe you should take me on a date and see how funny I can be. Okay. So I didn't ask them on the date. I let them know there was a green light to asking me out. I put myself out there first so that they would be safe in asking me out. Okay. I was just very clear. There's a very clear green light. You don't have to fail. If you ask me out, it's going to be successful. Okay. You're nice guys. Your guys are trying to respect you. Your guys who are, good guys who are trying to do the right thing are going to really appreciate that. They still have to ask me out. I'm not taking over for them. But it's like, oh, yeah, I do know where all the good hamburger places are. Maybe you should take me on a date and, I'll pick out a hamburger for you. Yes, I do love to read. There's a bookstore signing next Thursday. That'd be a great first date, wouldn't it? You see how that is? I'm not taking ownership over it, but I'm making the way safer so the good guy who is nice and interested in you can, you know there's a green light there. And when a lot of male dating coaches are helping good guys figure out if there's a green light or a red light. So if you want to make it very clear that there is a green light, go for it. Okay. So my tips for dating: one, meet people. Wherever you are, meet people. Put yourself in situations to meet people. Be brave, meet people. Number two, be honest with yourself and with others. And number three, be bold, because the great guys out there are not the most aggressive guys out there, and we don't want it to be. The toxic person has their game, they have their like statements, they are ready. They are ready to manipulate you and trick you. So if the good guy's game isn't quite as smooth, that is often a green flag, not a red flag. Hope that helps you on your journey to finding love and becoming toxic person proof.